folks, this is Vincent Natalie with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to check out One Deck Galaxy. This game supports 1 to 2 players. It's for ages 14 and up, and the average play time is 45 to 60 minutes. Now, Idly is sitting next to me, but she will be observing and watching while I sort of teach the game as best as I can and run through the different mechanics. So here's the thing. One Deck Galaxy ended up being a lot more complicated than I had originally expected. And yes, there are 5 different adversaries that you can pick between, and there's even a 1-star one called the Hungry Nebula, which is the easiest one supposedly. My problem with the Hungry Nebula, however, is that it completely breaks normal setup. Right out of the gate, it breaks normal setup. And I'm thinking to myself, as a new player to the game, I'm confused. I mean, like, I don't know how to set up the game normally, and now I've got to break the rules already. It's just weird. Like, they introduced this Hungry Nebula as the easiest one. In my opinion, it should be a 2 or 3-star, just because of the way it behaves. But anyway, my point I guess I'm trying to make is, I went through the rulebook 3 times. I watched a developer video that was kind of put together at the last second from the looks of it, and I actually walked away from this game several times because I was frustrated. There are several concepts in the rulebook that aren't explained very well. There is an FAQ on the official website, and I learned some of it there. But long story short, I'm kind of disappointed with just the game's ease of getting into. It's actually more complex than it really needed to be. With that being said, and my point is, I created a training bot. And this training bot is easier than the Hungry Nebula. And the whole point of Hungry Bot is to introduce you to the mechanics without getting your arse kicked. That's what the whole point of Training Bot is. And I'm going to show you Training Bot today and try and get through a game. So I did unbox the game already and show you some of the mechanics or some of the components. This is the box insert here. So, Training Bot. I am using the Hungry Nebula adversary. You're going to choose an adversary as part of setup, and you're going to take the matching card. This is the confrontation card. So I am taking the confrontation card, and my goal is to remove these 4 tokens. It starts at 3, goes to 2, 2, 1, and then win. You're trying to remove these tokens in order to win the game. Now, for you experienced players out there, you'll know that these numbers kick in during certain situations. Each of the different adversaries in this game have a different way that they use that number when they're interacting with you. However, because this is Training Bot, the numbers don't matter. Sort of like in Whose Line Is It Anyway, the points don't matter. All we're doing is we're removing tokens, and these numbers we don't care. Okay, so that's one thing we don't have to worry about when we're learning the game. But I do have the confrontation card next to it, and as we complete these rows from top to bottom, we'll be removing these tokens. And again, ideally, we're trying to get down to win before we lose the game. Now, again, depending on the adversary that you pick in the normal game, you can lose in a number of different ways. Here with Training Bot, the only way you can lose if you cycle out the deck so many times. That's all it is. There are other ways to lose with the other adversaries. You lose in this game by cycling through your One Deck Galaxy deck. And as part of normal setup, the adversary event cards are put underneath the deck. And every time you go through the entire deck, the next event card pops up, and then you observe it in the next round. As part of Training Bot, we don't care what's on the other side of these cards. All we're doing is we're moving one off to the side as part of a timer, and when it gets to the last one, and then we cycle the deck one more time, we lose. That is, by the way, normally how you can lose in the normal game. There are other lose conditions depending on the adversary, but as far as Training Bot is concerned, that is the only way you can lose. I am just using the Hungry Nebula training cards, and I'm just using the backs. Again, the text on the other side, we don't care about that for Training Bot. So this is our timer, okay? So you're going to take the one deck Galaxy cards, shuffle them up, and put the adversary cards underneath. Now, funny story, the Hungry Nebula, like I said, it breaks setup. If you were playing as playing against Hungry Nebula, these cards wouldn't even go under here. Typically they would, but they don't. That's why I'm saying you're breaking the rules already on the easiest difficulty setting, and I don't agree with that. I think there should have been some kind of easier play or an easier adversary to play against, and that's why I invented Training Bot. All right, so there's the adversary here, Training Bot, even though it says Hungry Nebula. It's the Training Bot. You're also going to get a level 1 Starbase. Class 1, I should say. And what's cool is you can upgrade the Starbase by spending science throughout the game, and that allows you to do more powerful things. Typically, the Starbase allows you to send fleets out to do various things. We're going to be tucking cards underneath the fleet on the left, and tucking cards on the right in order to gain science. And by placing dice on the Starbase during a particular phase of your turn, you can gain more ships for your fleet, and you can also gain more science. And we'll get more into that later. You start the game with 2 fleet already. Let's talk a little bit about something called influence. Influence is tracked by the backs of these cards. 1 dot, 2 dots. That can go anywhere. That can track influence that the adversary gains. It can track influence over here. That can track the number of ships you have. So there's a number of different ways that these card backs will be used throughout the game to track various things as they happen. So even though this is like technically influenced, right now you start the game with 2 ships. And what's cool about that is, let's say you spend a ship. You can rotate it to the other side, and now I've got 1 ship. Okay? That's how you track ships. And you always make change with your ships. Science, on the other hand, is a different story. On the top of these cards, on the other side, there's a little science beaker value there. That's how much science you get. You draw a random card from the deck, and you tuck it under here to the right as part of setup. I've got 3 science. Sometimes you might start with 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. It's a random draw of the deck. Okay? The rest of the card does not matter. All that matters is the beakers that are on the right side there. So science will be tucked from, this side, and ships will be tucked on this side to represent how many we have. Okay? We also choose a character / home world, and up here determines how many dice we get to roll to start with. As we gain cards from the deck by completing cards, we can tuck them to the left face up, and we get more symbols. For example, I'm going to take the bottom card here. Let's say that I complete the conditions on this card, which we'll get into later. I have the option to tuck this card underneath like this, and now I gain an extra pink die, an extra blue die, and I gain a resource. I start with a water resource, but I also gain whatever that is. Looks like fruit. Anyway, these resources will come into play when other certain cards ask for them. But for right now, you could tuck, assuming you complete this card, you could, in theory, tuck it to the left. Rather than tuck it to the left, you can tuck it underneath and make it a tech instead. And this allows you to spend your tech tokens to observe these technologies down here. Whichever way you do it, if you take it as a colony or take it as a tech, you still get the resource listed on the bottom left. So I'm going to get this fruit-looking thing, whether I tuck it this way or tuck it this way. So when you gain a card, you can tuck it this way or tuck it this way, depending on what you want from it. Okay? Let's go ahead and put that back and that back. Okay. All right, so as I was saying, you're going to choose a home world, and this is the person I just drew. I don't know if he's any good. Tim Tillowinks. Each one has a special ability down here. This is the tech that I was talking about. You can spend tech tokens, which look something like this. You can spend these tech tokens to activate this ability. This says roll a black wild die or use a tech from an encounter in the Discovery Zone. That'll make more sense when you see it happen. Each home world also starts with one technology or one milestone already. This blue area is a milestone. That'll make more sense in a moment. Then you're going to choose a society card. I'm going to take, actually I'll just take these off in a moment. So your society card has 3 other milestones on it. So you have a total of 4 different milestones that you'll be trying to complete during the game. And that helps you advance in Federation level. You start at level 1, and as you complete a milestone, you're going to take the topmost token and slide it to where it needs to go. Whatever you satisfied, you're going to take the top token and slide it over. And that is important for 2 reasons. One, certain techs actually get more powerful the higher your Federation level. So if I reach Federation level 3, I can spend a tech token to do this rather than this. Okay. Also, when you're trying to satisfy confrontation rows, you are required to level up your Federation to a certain level before you can even attempt to do that row. So in order to beat this, I need to get my Federation level up to 4. That means I need to complete at least 3 milestones. So you start with these tokens on the 2, 3, 4, and 5. And like I said, you work your way down the card as you complete milestones. So if I complete 1 milestone, I'm now level 2. If I complete another milestone, I'm now level 3. If I complete another milestone, I am now level 4. And now I can complete this bottom row and win the game if I manage to complete that row and satisfy the conditions there. So that's the importance of completing these milestones, leveling up your civilization, whatever it's called, Federation. Okay? So you're going to choose, random home world and a random society. These are the other ones that are in the game. These are the different home worlds. You've got the Felici, the Zibzab, the Plum, and the Elements, whatever. And then these are the different societies: Guardians, Explorers, Mathematicians, Botanists. They have different milestones, different abilities, different things like that. Okay?
Is this a solo game?
It's a solo / 1 to 2 player game. On the reverse side of each society and home world is the 2-player version of it.
Oh.
You get less dice per player, essentially. So in the beginning of the game, if we were playing 2 players, I would get 2 yellow, 2 pink, 1 blue, and a tech token. Whereas if I'm playing solo, I get more stuff.
I see. Okay. It's co-op?
It is co-op, yes. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I didn't get to the 2-player rules yet. I'm still working on the solo rules. We will get there when we get there. Okay, by the way, because there is no in-game reference card, I created a reference sheet that I will be referring to every now and again to help me get through all the different phases, and also my rules for the training bot down here, just so I don't forget what it does. I guess we'll get into that now. Training bots. Again, all you're really trying to do is get this last token off the board before you cycle out all of the event cards on the bottom. And to do that, you have to cycle through this deck, I think, 6 total times. In my play test off camera, I got through 3 of these. So I got halfway to losing before I won the game. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a good way to train and to get used to the different mechanics. The training bot, doesn't do a whole lot other than discard cards to make the deck run out faster. That's all it does. It doesn't do very much else. Okay? So we'll get into the specifics when it happens. So let's just talk about, let's just go through the several turns and show you what the game is like and how it's played. To the best of my ability, keep in mind I've only played 1 time, and again, like I said, the rules were a little confusing to me at first. Still is a little bit.
What's the main difference between Training Bot and Hungry Nebula?
Hungry Nebula does a lot more nasty things to you.
Okay.
And it also has another lose condition, which is, off the top of my head, defeat. After executing the swells for the turn, which each thing has a different way of behaving, you are overwhelmed if the number of exiled adversary events is at least as high as your Federation level. Keep in mind, you have no idea what that means, and this is a level 1, supposedly level 1.
Crazy.
That's why I created Training Bot, because I'm like, seriously? This is too much for a level 1 anyway, in my opinion. Expert opinion. I'm going to push my glasses into my face now. Okay, so we're going to start with the adversary. And the adversary phase is right here. This is where they do nasty things to you. The first thing they do is they just discard a card from the deck. That's it. In each of these adversaries has a more difficult side. And on the more difficult side, you would discard 2 cards every turn to make this run out faster. But in terms of Training Bot, we are just going to discard 1 card. That's it. That's all we're doing. And then we move on to add 1 influence to the adversary. So I'm just going to take this. Typically, you would sort of slot it underneath up here, but because of room and camera, I'm just going to put things there for right now to indicate that it has 1 influence right now.
Could you tuck it underneath?
I could, but then I'd start interfering with this.
Oh, I see.
So I'm just going to leave it like this for right now, and then I'll just build off of that. As part of Training Bot, whenever this gets to 4 influence, all of the influence is discarded, and then you discard 2 cards from the deck. So the more influence this gets, when it hits to 4, more cards are gone from your deck. Okay? So again, just cycles through the deck faster. Okay, so if there are any red encounter cards out here, there are 2 types of cards in this deck. There's blue ones, and there's red ones. Blue ones are locations that you can just complete. They stay out here for as long as you want them to, essentially. There are multiple ways to deal with them, but they will stay out here until they are satisfied one way or another. Red cards, on the other hand, have a timer. And if you don't complete them by so many turns, tracked by influence, something will happen. And that's called, the escalate action. That's in the rule book. Every adversary has a different escalate thing. For example, had we been playing the Hungry Nebula, this adversary gains 2 influence. We're not playing Hungry Nebula. But for the purposes of this Training Bot, it will gain, whenever this escalates, the Training Bot, it'll just 2 cards will be, let me read that. I'm confusing myself now. Escalate. The adversary gains 1 influence. So whenever I run out of time on a red card, it's just going to gain an influence and adds to it here.
I see. And when it reaches
4, then 2 cards are gone.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we're done with the adversary phase. We discarded a card. We added an influence there. If there were any red cards in the array, we would add an influence to it to sort of show that it was ticking and, Next, we're going to move on to, excuse me, the discover phase. We're going to draw 4 cards. 1, 2, I should probably move this over a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you guys can hopefully see all of that. And it's important to make room because you're going to be tucking cards on each of these as needed. So there are 4 different cards out here now for me to deal with. And that's all you do during the discover phase is you deal 4 cards. Okay? Next, you are going to pick up your dice and roll them. I've got 4 yellow, and I've got 4 pink, and I've got 2 blue, and 2 tech tokens. So I'm just going to put those here for the moment. And I can spend tech tokens anywhere where there's a star in order to do special things. So I'm just going to pick up these dice, and roll them and see what I get. There is a red one here, so if I don't complete it, it says on the red card, 3 influence escalate.
Ooh.
So that means if I don't do this in 3 turns, then the AI will escalate, meaning whatever the condition was, it was add an influence to their tableau, whatever. And then whenever this is done escalating, you can actually put it as research. Like, you actually study your failure, is what the rulebook says. You can actually tuck it under here as science when you lose.
When you lose it.
Yes, so there's actually a consolation prize if the timer ticks out.
I see.
But now I'm going to pick up my dice and roll them and see what I get. Not a great roll to start off. Worth mentioning, there's a number of different things that you can do with these dice. You can just assign dice to various spots. These square spaces can only support 1 die, and it has to be equal to or greater than. These rectangular spaces, you can put as many dice as you want on there, so as long as it's equal to or greater. And the reward is listed to the right. That's how many influence that you get to tuck on this card. Now keep in mind, it says this is the goal, 3 influence. So you're wondering, well, if you're going to earn 1 here and possibly 1 here, then you're not going to complete the card. Well, here's the thing. You're going to be completing these over the course, like you're going to be repeating these until, over the course of several turns, until you finally reach your goal here. That's when you actually get the card. So I am now going to assign dice to various spaces. I can assign them to cards here. If I had 7 research, which I only have 3, and a 5 and a 5, I could start working on the first tick on his box here. I can also assign dice to the fleet. Any die can go here. These have to match, and I need 2 of a kind and 3 of a kind to get more ships added to this over here. As far as over here, I would add dice into the research lab. I can turn 3 of them into probe, and what probe means is deal 1 from the deck randomly and just put it underneath the science. I'm either going to get 2, 3, or 4 science for that. Instead of that, I can spend 1 die per science to study a card. What studying a card means, rather than using dice to complete a card and gaining it as a colony or attack, I can just take it as science. But I have to pay the cost in the upper right. So if I had 2 dice here, at the end of my turn, I could spend these 2 dice, and the cost or the requirement is 2. So I could spend those 2 to just study this and then slide it under as science.
You would not be able to do that for this?
No, only the blue cards.
Okay.
Red cards you cannot study.
Okay.
Okay, only the blue cards. Now you do get a discount though. If you had any influence under the card already, then you get a discount of whatever influence. So it would be like, if I had 1 influence under here, 2 minus 1 is 1. I would only spend 1 die to get to this card instead. So if you have influence, it makes this cheaper.
I see.
Okay. So I can spend dice over here, 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 and on the various cards. I can also spend tokens. Oh, I start with a class 1 starbase, my bad, not a class 2. I also get a starbase. This is a fleet token. Fleet tokens are assigned to any space that has a little blue circle on it. So not only do you have to assign a token to the space, but you also have to pay the cost on it. So in this case, I'd have to put my blue token on here and pay 1 fleet ship. Red cards must be completed all at once. Once you complete them all at once, they are resolved. Blue cards, on the other hand, you can do the top or bottom. You don't have to do them both. You can just do one of them. But it stays on the table until you reach the threshold on the top.
Okay.
Okay?
And the numbers are always equal to or greater than.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yep, unless the card says otherwise. All right, so his ability says, I can spend a tech token to roll a black die. Black dice are wild. They can be any color, which is kind of nice. You can also convert 2 dice into a black die, but but you have to take the lower value. So if I convert this yellow 2 and this blue 1 into a black die, I get a black 1 out of that, and these 2 go away.
I see.
Okay? Just like in One Deck Dungeon, it's similar to that. You can also calibrate. You can spend a ship to increase or decrease a pip by 1 on any die that you have. So if I spend a ship, I can make this a 2, or this 5 into a 6.
So this is a fleet, and that's a ship.
Yeah, whatever. I have 2 ships over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is this again? A fleet?
That gets assigned to these blue. They get assigned to these things here.
Okay,
Just bear with me.
But if you didn't have this, you would not be able to do that. Even though that's a ship.
Correct. These ships, these are 2 different currencies. This token is just to bring your fleet there. This 1 indicates I have to spend 1 ship in order to, one of my 2 ships in order to pay the cost. Just bear with me.
That part's confusing to me.
You watch.
Yeah, I'll watch.
Okay. Combine. Did that. Return and use tech. Okay, so I think I covered all the different actions. So let's just assign dice and see what happens. Okay. It's hard to explain too without actually doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's why we're just gonna do. Okay. So do I have enough to complete this? I do. I think. Yeah. So I'm gonna put. I can put as many dice as I want there. So I can do 5, 5, 1 for the 11. And I need a 4 for this 4 higher for that spot. A 5 and a 5. And I need a ship. Okay. And yeah, I completed that card. But it does not resolve until later. Oh. I still have more dice to assign. His ability also says you can use a blue token, the blue ship token, or fleet token, as a tech token, and you can use 2 tech tokens as a ship. So you can actually like convert 2 of these into one of those, or one of these into one of these. If you need to, if you have too many fleets, for example, and you have all these technologies, you can just use your fleets as tech instead. That's his special ability over here on the scientist card.
Okay.
Again, it'll make more sense when you see it happen. She's got a very... Now you know how I felt when I was trying to understand this game for the first time, okay?
Confusing.
Okay, so I've got these dice still to assign. I need... Okay, all dice here must have different values. 4 and 2, that's fine. And these 2 blue dice are awful.
Can you put them in here?
Here's the thing. I could do that. 1 and 2. You know what? I'm going to... What does this ability say? Roll a black die or use a tech from an encounter in the Discovery Zone. This is the Discovery Zone. It's not the play place for kids. There is a Discovery Zone. Anyway, this is saying roll a black die or use a tech from an encounter in the Discovery Zone. Oh. So I could spend a tech and do whatever this says, even though I don't own the card.
Oh, interesting.
So this says gain black with value flame +2. I don't have any flame icons over here +2. So, I'm guessing it would just be a black 2 that I would get. Which isn't terrible, actually, only because...
what is this icon? Gain a what?
A black die, which is a wild.
Oh, I see.
With value, flame +2. If I had 1 flame icon resource, it would be 1 + 2 is 3. I would get a black 3. But I don't have any flame tokens, so 0 + 2 is 2.
That's right.
Okay, so I could do that, and actually that would be fine, just to keep this moving. So I'm going to put this tech token here, one of my 2 tech tokens. Put that here, and I'm going to. It says gain a black die with a flame +2, so I'm going to make that a 2. Now with those 2, I am going to put them over here. That way I can get 2 ships in the future. You'll see that in a minute. I've got this 1 left. It's really not doing anything. I do have another tech. Spend a ship to launch a probe. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to spend one of my 2 ships, and I still have 1 left for this event over here, so I'm okay. I'm going to spend a ship, and I hate this tucking thing, in order to launch a probe. And to launch a probe, all I do is I draw from the deck, and luckily it's a 4. Okay, so I got 4 extra science there. I'm up to 7. All right, I still have 1 die that I can't do anything with, and I'm probably not going to be able to do anything with at this point. So I'm just going to keep this video moving and end it there. So I'm done. So now we move on to the results step, and that's where we resolve all of these different dice. First, I'm going to resolve the star base here. I'm going to take these off, and I get 2 ships. So I draw from the top of the deck, and I've got the 2 pips here, so I'm going to slide that under, like so. All right. And by the way, you should never have 2 1s in a tucked area like this.
Just flip it over.
You always use the least amount of cards. Over here, we'll just do this first. All dice must have different values. I've got that exactly. I get 1 influence for this, but that's it. So I'm going to take a card from here and tuck it under there. I'm working on it, but it's not done. I've got 1 influence on it, but it needs 4 in order to be completed. I spent everything over here. These dice are satisfied. These dice are all satisfied. There's my fleet token with 1 ship. So I'm going to lose a ship there. And that gets discarded. And I'll just put that back. And I've completed this card. So it's not going to gain influence on the next turn to count toward the 3-turn timer. I can do one of 2 things with this. I can tuck it on the left and get tech tokens, or I can tuck it on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and tuck it on the left and give myself more tech tokens for the future. Sorry, I
have a quick question.
Yes.
So, okay, this is going to be really weird. So, you started off with 2, right?
3.
Oh, you started off with 3 ships?
In the game, in the very beginning, I started with 2.
It's 2. To put this down, you had to put a fleet down, right?
I did this.
Yeah.
I had dice on here and this.
Yes.
And then I used this ability to launch a probe. I had 1 left.
Yes. And then you got 2 more, which is 3. So when you spend this, you have to spend a ship?
Whatever it says on here. 1.
Oh, but what is this then?
That's just putting it here. You need to do 2 things.
This is like this symbol right here?
Kind of. No. This you have to put the token on. It's all this token is for. To do it.
It just signifies that it's a ship.
It signifies that you're trying to do something there.
Yes.
The cost of it is underneath.
Yes.
1 ship. I spent a ship.
Oh.
Had this said 2, I would spend 2 ships.
Okay. So this always comes back to you in the beginning? This token?
Yes. Depending on your starbase level. As you upgrade your starbase, you get more of these ships to assign, fleets to assign to different places.
So if you have multiple cards that have these tokens, you can't put like multiple ships on this?
No.
You only have to put
only 1. But you still have to pay the cost of the number underneath.
Yes, okay.
With this.
Now. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Welcome to my world. So I completed this in record time, and I'm going to tuck it to the left. And now I get to add 2 more tech tokens to my repertoire. So these come off like so. And I think that's everything that I've accounted for. All right, so now we're going to start a brand new turn and repeat the process. We're back in the adversary phase. We discard a single card. We add an influence. Instead of adding a new card, we're just going to flip this to the 2. Mm-hmm. And I think... I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. Add 1 influence. Oh, any red cards here would add an influence, but there are no red cards because I took care of it. And now we were back in the discover phase. We're going to deal up to 4 cards. There's another red card.
So discover card is always 4? Or yeah. Discovery is
Discovery phase, you always draw up to 4.
Okay.
If there's already 4 here, you do nothing.
Is that per training bot, or is that like the core game?
That's the whole entire game.
I see.
Unless there's an adversary I'm not familiar with.
Okay.
But... so it goes. So now we are back into doing dice stuffs. I've got 4 tokens, tech tokens now, which may not do anything for me right now until I get more technologies. But so I'm going to take the 4 yellow dice and 4 pink and 2 blue and give them another roll. All right, let's see what I got. Okay, so I need to start taking care of some of these other ones. Wow, that's ridiculous. I need a combination. I'm never gonna get this. I need a combination of dice adding up to 22 blue and 20. And 6. No, this is. I'm gonna lose that one.
Well, no, you probably could get it.
I only have 2 blue dice in my entire thing.
How many turns do you have to?
3.
3 turns?
Yeah, I'm going to skip that for right now and work on other things. I need to start building my engine. These are easier for me to get. So I'm going to do a 2 and a 4. 2 and a 4. And a 5 and a 3. All of them have to be different numbers.
Mm-hmm. Is there a way to reroll?
It depends on abilities.
I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And again, you can increase or decrease dice by spending ships as well.
Okay.
All right. 3 and 4. No dice with value 6. So I can do 3 and 5. And I've got a 5 and a 4. Or do I do stuff down here? Or maybe I do more probing. You know what? This playthrough is actually very different than the one that I did. What's this? Spend ship to use one of your techs. That's not interesting to me. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to spend a tech to roll a black die just to see what I get. 4. Okay, not terrible. All dice here must be the same value. 4 and 4. I could do one of 2 things. I could put the black 4 here and the yellow 3 here.
There you go.
And that gives me 2 toward this. But then down here I'm kind of... Well, I couldn't have put the 3 down there anyway because these are all 4s and higher. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to put these last 3 here. And I'll probe with those. Okay, so I can still do this. I'm going to put a tech there to spend a ship to launch a probe. I need science. A lot of science. So I'm down to 1 ship. I'm going to draw a card at random, and it is 4 beakers. Awesome.
What does science do?
Science does a number of things. Science, you need to turn in. So if you were to complete this card, you put a token here, and you have to spend 6 science. Mm-hmm.
And these go away.
They go away. And there is no change with those, unfortunately. Oh. So, unlike ships, if you have to pay more, you're screwed.
That's rough.
Yeah. But you also need science for the Hungry Nebula's goals. Each adversary has different requirements. In the case of the Hungry Nebula / training bot, you're going to need a lot of science to do a lot of things.
I see.
Okay. So I'm just going to leave it like that, and these 2 tech tokens are useless to me right now. I could, as part of his ability, it says here, use 2 techs as a ship. So if I needed an extra ship for whatever reason, I could turn these 2 into a ship. A fleet, but I don't need to. Or I can turn this into a tech, but I don't have enough techs yet. Okay, so I'm going to end my turn there, and now I resolve things. First thing I'm going to do is just resolve these 3. I'm going to turn in 3 of any and limit 1 per turn. I'm going to probe. I get 4 science. Awesome.
Wow.
I'm getting very lucky with those. Next, I'm going to resolve these dice. I get an influence. And I'm going to resolve these dice. I get a reward, influence. So I'm just going to take 1 and do a 2 there. So I've got 2 out of 3 on there. Here, this is complete. This is complete. I get 2 influence. Technically, you just turn this to 2 and draw this as a 1. It's just easier if I just put a 2 under here. Either way, it's going to end up with the same amount.
Yeah.
So now I've got 3 influence. I'm not there yet, but I'm close on these 2 cards.
I see.
And that's it. I don't resolve anything else at this point. Okay. Now we move on to adversary again. He's going to draw a card, discard it. And now he's going to add an influence. He's up to 3. And the red card here gets an influence on it. And when that ticks up to 3, it hits me.
Ouch.
Yeah. All right, so back to my turn. I have 4 yellow dice. I have 4 pink dice. And I have 2 blue dice. And 4 tech tokens. All right. Actually, before I do that, at the end of... when you're done resolving dice, one thing I forgot to do is upgrade my star base. I'm going to do that now, before anything else happens.
Oh, when do you upgrade it?
You're supposed to do it when you take dice off here to resolve certain things.
So that you should have done that.
I should have done it before I gave... Yeah, it doesn't affect anything. But I should have done it at the end of my last turn there.
Oh, so not during the first time that you did this, you didn't have to upgrade the start base?
I couldn't. No, what I'm saying is, at the end of my last turn, when I was taking dice off, that's when I should have done it.
Why couldn't you have done it beforehand?
Because I didn't have enough science to do it.
Oh, so now you have science.
I have 8 science.
Oh, I see.
I need 8 science to upgrade to level 2.
Okay, that's what I was
So I am now going to turn this over, and now I get 2 of these tokens on here.
Oh, interesting.
And now I have to spend 8 science in order to upgrade it.
Okay.
The next upgrade is 10 science. But now I can probe twice rather than just once to get more science. Okay. Dice. I forgot about that. Okay, so we get 4 yellow dice, 4 pink dice, 2 blue dice, 4 tokens. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, lots of low dice, unfortunately. I'm going to have to probe probably a bit more. I definitely want to complete these cards if at all possible. I also need to get more fleet in there. So what I may end up doing is using these 1s, 1, 1, and 1, to get 3 ships in the future. That'll help me out there.
I keep forgetting what ships do.
Ships are just spent to increase or decrease dice.
Oh.
They can also be used on abilities. Spend a ship to launch a probe, for example.
Oh.
Different techs will have you spend ships. Also, some card requirements will have you spend ships, just like you would research.
Okay.
So, yeah, it'll make more sense when you see it. Okay. These are all crap. I only need 1 here, so I'm going to put the pink 2 there and the yellow 5 there, and that'll be enough influence to finish this card off.
Oh, I see. I
only need to complete 1 of these as well, so I'm going to do 5 and 3. I could do either or, really. Depends. I'm just going to do, just to keep this easy, 5 and 3 is 8. That's enough to finish that card. And these last ones, I am going to... I guess I'll just probe over here. Okay, to get more research. Okay, and now I still have this stuff I can do. You know what? Let's just see what I get before I commit. I'm going to commit a tech token here to just roll a black die, just to see what happens. It's a 2. Then this tech is spend, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a tech here, spend my last ship. That goes in the discard pile. To launch a probe. That means I draw a card. It's 3 beakers, so that goes under here. I get more science. All right. And with 4 dice, I could do one of 2 things. I'm going to put 2 dice there to get more ships. 2 of a kind. I've got a 3 and a 5. Not a whole lot I can do about that. I don't have any way of really spending those. I'll just put the 3 here to get any... It's just 1 ship for 1 die of any kind for 1 ship. And this blue 5 is kind of wasted. So that's it for me.
Could you have put it here and study or something?
Study can only happen if you have enough... If you pay the cost of the beakers. In this case, I would need 3 dice to study this, because there's 3 beakers here. I don't want to study these. I want them to come over here.
I see.
If I study something, it comes in as science.
I see.
I don't want to do that. So this 5 is just wasted.
And you can't lock dice in, right?
What do you mean lock them?
Like you can't lock them here.
No, not for next turn. Unless there's something special, but I've not seen that.
I see.
Okay.
I was going to say lock the 5 on there.
Unfortunately, no. Okay. So now we resolve stuff. There's a lot of ships going on there. It's 6 ships. I'm just going to take them all off. And I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Now I've got 6 ships that I can spend for various things.
Cool.
I'm going to tuck them all under there. Okay, next we've got this one here. That's 8, which is enough for 7. And I get an influence. We've reached our threshold. we need 3 influence, 3 gold there. So these are discarded. These 2 here. And the card that I just captured, I can put into the left or I can put underneath. This one says, the tech is roll a red die or spend 2 ships to gain a pink 6 and a black 3. So I'm going to put this in as a tech because I've got all these extra techs, but no way to, or I've got all these tech tokens, but no way to spend them. So I'm going to put that down there.
How much tech would it have given you if you had put it on the left side?
I would have gotten 1 yellow die and an extra tech token, but that's about it.
And the resource is a flame?
It's a crystal.
A crystal. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't apply unless it goes to the left, right?
No. The resource applies no matter what.
Oh.
Whether you tuck it under or to the left, these apply anyway.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And if you have sometimes 3 of a kind of one particular resource, it can be very powerful.
I see.
It all depends on certain things. Like here's an example. This text says, roll a pink die, increase a die by up to this symbol. For however many symbols you have over here of that, you can increase a particular die. So if I have 3 of those symbols over here, I can increase a die up to 3 times, from a 3 to a 6.
Here's the question. These ones are kind of confusing where it says roll a pink one. Is that an existing die or a new one?
Roll is get a new die and roll it.
Interesting.
From the supply.
Wow.
What was I doing?
You completed this one as well.
Thank you. Okay, so there's that, and I had to add, I'm going to flip this to its 2 side. That's 4. These 2 get discarded. And now I get to do something with this. As a tech, I can just gain 2 ships. That can be super helpful.
If you put it on the left, you would complete this milestone because you have 4 additional techs. Is that how it works?
So the milestones have 4 activated techs. Meaning if I put tokens on all 4 of mine.
That means activated. Okay.
Activated. This is have 5 activated. This is spend 7 of these. And this one is end the results phase with no cards left in the discovery zone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that one's hard. These 3 are totally doable though.
I thought it said additional, not activated. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to slide this under here because that's free ships. I might as well just take free ships. That's less dice I have to commit up here for various reasons.
Yeah, and that's more pips.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so these come off.
Well, you spent 2 techs, right, last turn?
What do you mean I spent 2 techs?
You spent...
I did. I get them back.
But
I'm resetting everything is what I'm doing. But yeah, there's no dice else to resolve. So now we're moving back to the adversary phase again. So we discard a card from the adversary. We add another influence. He's at 4 now, which means these are discarded per my training bot rules. And now 2 of these cards are discarded from the deck. You
said as per your training bot rules, what would have been the core rule?
Depends on the adversary.
For the Hungry Nebula, it would be...
The Hungry Nebula is complicated. When you reach a certain... There's something called the swell effect. I don't want to confuse you people any more than that. Okay. You swell X number of times based on the number here. Swell means you look at all of the events. The events in the Hungry Nebula start off face up rather than underneath here. And you have to pick which negative effects you want to apply to yourself.
How many? Just
depending
one?
on the number.
3 of them? Oh
yes.
My gosh.
So in the beginning of the game, when this activates and it picks so many swells, you have to pick 3 of these negative things.
Ugh.
That's the level 1, quote unquote, easiest bot.
Can't wait to play level 2.
Yeah. So, long story short, I discarded 2 cards because he reached 4 influence. Very simple.
Okay.
Keeping it simple.
Yes.
Okay. So, we did adversary phase. Red card. We have to add an influence to it. 1 more turn and it's now gone. Now we're back to discovery phase. We need to draw up to 4. So, we're going to do that. And now we're back to dice actions. Okay, so I get 4 yellow dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And still no extra dice yet. But I've got a lot more text to work with, luckily. Alright, let's see what I get. And let's just put those there and that one there, and there we go. Okay, fine. Lots of sixes. I like that. So how would I approach this? I kind of want to get more dice. This is going to cost me 4 ships alone. You know what? I'm going to get this out of the way now. I'm going to do a tech token here to gain 2 ships. So I just... boop, right from there. Done. I've got a lot of ships.
You can actually complete this. Assuming you want to.
How? I only got 10 blue here.
You could do wilds and then use your text to get more
We'll see.
dice. Do
Maybe.
wilds and then pip that up.
I could try, but that's
a lot
I'm
of
actually
dice.
content with studying this one.
Okay.
Because it's 4 science, which isn't bad.
But you can study the red ones?
What happens is when this timer runs out, it's going to escalate.
Yeah.
But as a consolation prize, this
It'll
comes
come
as a study.
Oh, as a study. Okay. I thought you were talking about taking the action to study.
No.
I see.
As a consolation for you getting hit with this, it goes to the right.
I see.
Okay, so I'm going to ignore that and just let it happen, I think.
Okay.
I'm going to do all dice here must have the same value.
Ooh.
I need 6 there. I'm going to do, and this is 2 and 1. So I'm just going to focus on the bottoms, I think, on that. So just do, say, I have a red 4. So I'll just do that one. If I do the top one, it's only 1 influence. So I'm not going to bother with that. Let's see what else I get. Unlock. Must fill top row before bottom row. So I have to commit a fleet here and spend 4 ships. Then I can do this bottom half, which isn't terrible.
4 ships? What do you mean?
4 ships.
Oh, that's right.
So I'd have to commit 4 of my 8 ships just to start doing this card. And it's 3 every time. I don't know if I like that.
Well, I don't think you'd be able to do it because you don't have a... Oh, wait, no.
I do.
It's greater. I keep thinking it's equal to.
Yeah. If it were equal to, I'd return the game. Must fill top row before bottom row. Same thing here. I need to spend 2 science. I might just study these cards.
This will give you an additional blue.
Yeah, and a pink. And yeah, you know what? Maybe I should go for this one and just try and... Yeah. Let's look at these other techs. I'm going to spend a tech here. It says roll a pink or spend 2 ships to gain a pink and a black 3. I don't think I need to be honest.
Roll or spend?
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna roll a red die. I'm not gonna do 2 ships to gain a red 6.
It's a 5.
5, yeah. So I could always spend a ship and up that to a 6 if I really wanted to.
What else does that say? To gain a red
I could
6
spend
and
2 ships to gain a red 6 and a black 3.
And a black 3. Wow.
But I don't want to spend ships when I might need it for this. That's a lot of stuff there. I'm going to use... Let's see. This red one is spend a ship to use one of your techs. I'm just going to roll a black die. With that. It's a 2. I don't know if that was another...
I don't know.
I don't remember either. I will spend that to spend a ship to launch a probe. So I'm going to spend one of my 8 ships to launch a probe, and that involves me drawing from here. It is a 2, so that goes under there.
That's a lot of science, man.
Yeah, but that's actually good. I wanted a 2 so I can start working on that. I didn't want to overpay on science. It's my only 2. So I am going to probably assign stuff to here. So I'm going to assign a ship here and spend 2 science. That 2 science I just got. Okay. And then I need a red 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend this to to pip it up by 1. This red 5 becomes a red 6.
Cool.
And if I can find it, there we go. And that's 2 influence I'll get for the 3 that I need. Down here, I'm going to assign my other fleet here. I have to spend 4 ships at some point. But I need a red 2. Actually, I've got the black 2. I'll just spend that. And I guess...
What about using...
Whoops, that was a 4.
What about using the...
What am I going to use the blue for? I mean, there's nothing else to spend the blue on. So, well, actually, you know what? if I did that and then did this, actually, let's do this. That way I can do this.
What about, you would have gotten an additional influence on that towards this.
Right? I don't have...
If you had used that, I mean.
I guess, but they all have to be the same value. I would need pink 4 and a yellow 4 again, which I don't have. So I've got, unfortunately, 2 yellow 6s and this. Not ideal. What I could do, I don't have the right colors. I could convert 2 into a black 6, but for what reason?
What if you did the 3 4s down here, these 3, right?
These have to be the same value.
Oh, I keep forgetting.
I'm just going to probe, I think. I'm going to spend that and just probe. And that'll be that, just to keep this video moving. So this yellow 6, which hurts me to say it, is not going to do anything. Okay, so now we resolve stuff. I get 2 ships from...
Could you have put the yellow 6 here?
I could have, actually. Yeah, you're right. I could have done that. So I get 3... No, it's fine. I get 3 ships instead of 2. So that is a 2, and that is a 1. Okay, so I'm going to slide those under. This is the worst... I hate this tucking.
I do too. It's very wingspan-y.
I would prefer some kind of digital thing off to the side. That way I can keep track of each counter.
Or like a tracker. I think
a tracker would be ideal too. Okay, so this I'm going to spend 3 dice and probe, which is just grab a card, and it's a 3. Okay. Next, I'm going to resolve this. I have to spend 2 science for that top half, so that's gone. And that comes back, and that's 1 influence, and I've got enough for this. That's another influence. So I have 2 influence on this card. Here, I have my other fleet. I have to spend 4 ships to do that, per that. So I'm going to spend that and that. That's 4 ships. I'm down to 5. And these get discarded as well.
Yep.
And that goes away. And I get a 2 underneath this one. Actually, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I get 1 more.
There you go.
All right. So I've got 3 of 8 on that one. This one here gets 2.
Interesting.
And yeah, there we go.
Uh-oh. We'll be like,
Getting close to the bottom there. Yeah, I know. Okay, so all of the dice have been resolved. I'm just going to put these tokens back up there, reset everything. And now we're back to the adversary phase again. It's going to discard a card. And, if we have to draw a card and we can't, one of these timer things go away. Typically in the standard game, something would happen on the reverse side, but we're not going to worry about that with Training Bot.
I see.
So, and again, Hungry Nebula is completely different than that as well. So we're going to draw. This goes back underneath. We're going to draw a new one here. Or I'm sorry, it would be face down. 1 influence. And this. So 1 gets added here. It's reached its timer. As part of the escalate, it now becomes 2 influence instead of 1. This comes tucked underneath here, and these get discarded.
Okay. And as per the core game, it would work just like that?
Yes, it would.
See. And this gets a new...
Discovery phase, yes. So the second is Discover. And now we're back to dice.
Okay.
All right. So let's do this. It is 2 pink, or 4 pink, 4 yellow, 2 blue, and 4 tech tokens.
When does this have 4 additional techs? Is that
I should have done that, actually. Yeah, that's I did complete this from the... I used all of these all. This is a tech, and these 3 are techs. So I did activate 4 techs.
I see. I keep reading it as additional. It's very hard to see.
Yeah, it's activated.
Activated.
So I could now do this second line when I get to it, because it requires a Federation level of 2.
I see.
All right. 2. All right, 6s. All right, well, I want to try and complete these as much as possible. First thing I'm going to do is just activate this tech to get 2 ships. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. So I'm just going to draw 1 from there and slide it in between that and that. Okay. Next is...
Could you... Oh, sorry. I was going to say, could you spend a token and just complete that card?
I could. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, you know what? Let's do... I want to first spend the probe because I don't want to overpay if I don't have to. I'm going to spend a ship,
right.
and I'm going to launch a probe. This is a 2. Perfect.
Oh, wow.
That'd be exact change for this.
Wow.
So
do you have to pick from the outside?
No,
and then in,
you can
or
pick
you
any.
Can pick any?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Those are your resources.
I see.
But I'm not going to fill this in because I don't need to.
Yep.
Because I have 2, I need 3, and this is just enough. I just pay 2 science, and that's it.
Perfect.
Here, I need a lot more. I need 5. I need more ships. I'm at 6. What was this? Yeah, I guess that was there. Okay, so I'm going to... There's no red cards, so I'm just going to roll a black die with my 3rd tech token.
Okay.
And it's a 2. And this last one is just roll... Yeah, I'm just going to spend my last tech token there to roll a red die. It's a 3. All right. It was a 3.
Yep.
And now I think I still want to do this anyway. I need to get this done.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spend my other fleet, unless I look at... I'm going to work on one at a time, I think. Yeah, I'm going to put this down here and then spend 4 ships when it comes time to. And then I'm going to assign the blue 2 and the, I guess, the pink 3. That's fine. Must fill top row before doing bottom. Okay, so that's going to guarantee me 3 influence for that card. That's going to get done. This is kind of rough. No dice with value 6, and it's all blue dice, unfortunately. This one down here I should probably just work on. This is a yellow 4, and I'll just do... Oh, it has to be the same value.
You can do 2 6s. The red 6.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could do 6 and 6, I suppose. And then I'd have to do 6s up here if I really wanted that, but I'm not going to worry about it.
No, I would say no.
As far as the other dice are concerned, I might just try and get more ships and science out of it. Because I don't think I'm going to get anything else. Unless I convert dice into... Well, I don't have any fleets left to do that anyway. Actually...
Did you? You have 6 ships.
Well, I don't have enough blue tokens to go here. Oh. I spent 1 here, 1 here. I can still do the bottom one, but it's only 1 point. It's only 1 influence. I'd rather spend that on ships, because I seem to be spending a lot of ships. So I'm going to do, say... I'm going to do 2 1s there. And I can probe twice. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
You can probe twice?
According to my level 2 starbase, I can probe twice.
Wow.
So I'm going to get a lot of science. I might even upgrade my starbase again. Or just maybe focus on this for the time being.
I was going to say,
yeah. Okay. So we're going to now resolve these things. I am going to resolve this one here. And that comes back. And I spend 2 science. And that's gone. And this is, I get an influence added. And I've got 3 that I need. So these are discarded. And I get to do something with this. Do I want the technology or do I want the extra red die again? The tech is gain a yellow 6. Or spend 2 ships to roll 2 yellows and a black. That's not bad. I need more tech tokens, but that's actually... Just gaining a yellow 6, I like that. I'm going to put that under here. If I don't need ships, then I'll just use that instead. I have 4 tech tokens and 5 of these. I need 5 activated techs to get the next milestone, so I'm working toward getting a 5th token.
Yeah. I would say once you complete...
But I can also use these as these, per this ability. Oh. So if I didn't need that ship, I can just assign it as my 5th tech.
There you go.
This is done, and this is done. So that's just...
2
yeah.
And another one?
Well, it would be... No, I got 1 here. And then 2. So 1 I just flipped, and 2 I'm adding to it. So I'm up to 6. It's 3 per turn, essentially, if you complete the card. Alright, there's that. And this is just 2. So 2 gets added there.
Okay.
And I get 2 ships up here. I'm doing pretty good on ships, so I don't think I really need to worry about that. I'm going to probe... Or do I just research? I can research 3 times, or I can do study, rather, and just get rid of this one if I don't want it. Yeah, No, I'll probe 3. I'll probe twice. I've got 6 dice. I'll just probe twice.
Because this, if you take both of these as tech.
Mm-hmm. And 2. Oh wow, 2 4s. I'll take it. I've got a ton of science over here. I'm swimming in science. That's good.
What's cool is that if you gain both of these on tech or dice, you can re-roll all of your dice.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
That is nice. All right. Well, that concludes the results step. If I wanted to, I could upgrade my starbase again. I don't see a need to. Mm-hmm. So we'll just move on to the next adversary step. All right, adversary stage. We're going to go ahead and just do its thing. Discard a single card. And add influence over here. We're up to 3. There's no red cards to add influence to. Nothing to worry about there. All right, moving on to discovery. We refill the array back up to 4 cards. And now we move on to me again. So 4 yellow. 4 pink. 2 blue, and 4 of these tech tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Oh, that was a 1.
We really need a dice tray.
Yeah. Hey, folks, if you want to pitch in and get me a dice tray, anyway.
Or subscribe to his Patreon or something.
Yes, that too. All right. So we want to complete this one for sure. Can we do that with what we have? I need this here and spend 4 ships at some point. Did I spend that last turn? I don't think I did. I didn't spend 4. Yeah, so that needs to go away. In fact, I may have missed that before too.
I think you did it.
Did I?
Okay.
I think so. All right, I'm correcting. Hopefully it's correct.
I'm pretty sure at least.
All right, if not, then I apologize, but a lot to track here.
Yes.
Do that, and that's going to be another 4. So I'm going to spend a tech token. Do I want more ships or just keep it that way? Then I won't be able to probe. Oof. Okay.
Well, do you need more science?
Not at this point. I don't think. So I'm going to try and complete this one. They both need to be the same value. First thing I'm going to do is spend a tech to... There's no red. I'm just going to roll a black die with that one. See what I get. And it's a 1.
All these low numbers.
Love it. I love it. I might just do...
1, 2, 3, yeah.
1, 2. Just because. Ships are ships. And it looks like I may need them. So this 2... And... I need a blue something.
Actually, if you did that...
I would have more influence than needed, but I'm fine with getting it early. Here is... I need 4s. So I just need a 4 here. And it needs to be the same value. I'm going to spend a ship down to 3 to decrease this to a 4.
Nice.
But the problem is now, I need 4 ships for this. So I'm going to spend a tech to just gain 2 ships.
Interesting.
Just so I have more to work with in the future. So I'm going to slide that in between there. And in the end, I'll have 1 ship left after I do this. With these 3 left, not a whole lot I can do. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and start doing these other techs. I have 2 left. I'm going to do that one. And gain just a yellow 6. And this one is... I'm not going to spend ships. I'm just going to roll a red die and see what I get. It's a 5. Okay, not terrible.
It's too bad no additional influence could do something.
Yeah. I need... Eesh. I could just do...
You could do the yellows here. 6 and 7.
I guess. I mean...
Or...
I need 4 ships, so...
You could complete this. 5, 5.
I could.
To get towards...
all right, let's get... Yeah, I have enough science. That's fine. So I have to commit this other ship to that.
Oh, I see.
And I have to spend the appropriate science. And I've got this left. I guess we'll do...
There's a couple things you could do. You could put 2 1s here.
I'll do this for 1. That's fine.
For
and
1.
then 1 and 3, I'll just put I'll just put the 3. It doesn't matter. Good enough. Good enough. Okay, so just to keep this moving, let's go ahead and if I had an extra tech token, I could have got this other milestone done, but I don't. Okay, so let's just do what we have. Let's just resolve this first. 5 and 5, great, and I spend 7 science. I'm gonna try and get exactly 7. I don't want to waste.
You got it.
So that's the first one done.
So
Great. Discard.
Discarded.
Yep. Next is 4 ships. So I am going to just do 4 here and tuck it like that and like that. Boom.
Okay.
More ships. From here, I get 1 influence. Here, I get more than I need.
Yep.
But that's what I'm still going to give it myself anyway. It's 2 and then an extra 1.
Yeah, you have to because it has to discard.
I believe so, yeah. But I do get that now. This is done. Let's see. These are all discarded. So what am I going to do with this? I mean, I might just take...
Yeah, for that extra blue die.
The extra blue die is going to be huge. Although it says roll a black. If you have 3 of water symbols, I have 1. Reroll any or all of your dice.
You could get the 3rd one from here or that one.
That's tempting. I feel like I need more dice, though.
Yeah, I would say that.
So...
I'd say to the left.
A pink and a blue, an extra blue. I think the extra blue is going to be super helpful.
Blues seem like it's really rare, especially when you need these.
Yeah, I need more blue. All right, fine. I'm going to add it as a colony over here. Okay. And these dice, I get 2 influence on that. Perfect. And that's the 6 that I need to complete that.
Nice.
So 1, 2, 3, done. I will also add this to the left. It's another pink and another blue die.
Awesome.
So I'm getting that as well.
Okay.
All right, so I'm slowly building up my engine over here.
And you get more tech points.
Yeah,
right?
5 tech tokens, 4 blue dice, 6 pink. Okay.
And the timer runs out?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet, not yet.
Yep. One thing at a time.
Yep, I know. I thought that was the thing.
That's next stage.
That's next.
So we are done now with the results step, and now we move into the adversary step. First thing we do is discard a card. Oops, there's none. You lose 1 there. We shuffle these up. And that goes on top. And we discard a card. We also now add a card, or influence rather. Uh-oh, 4 influence. You discard these and then 2 more cards.
Now, does he gain an additional influence?
No.
Okay.
That's just the effect of him turning in influence.
I see.
All right. And then any red cards would get influence. There are no red cards. So now we fill this back up to 4. And now we take our turn. There's another red one. Great. But dice, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pink. Good for us. I like that. 4 yellow.
And 4 blue.
4 blue. Perfect.
Awesome.
And we get a 5th tech thing. Okay. So we have more dice. We are slowly getting there. I really need to activate all of these to get that 3rd milestone.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. This is wonderful. There, fine. Good enough.
Roll it up here next time.
No, the camera can't see that.
That hurts me.
It hurts you. Okay, get over it.
I know.
Get over it. I didn't spend the 4 ships I needed for that one. Remember?
Oh, whoops.
I forgot about that. So these are also gone.
Okay.
So I'm down to 5.
I thought you did. Maybe.
I'm not going to bother rewinding the tape.
It's fine.
I always say I make mistakes in my videos because it's difficult to explain while doing. Okay, so we need stuffs.
Nice high numbers, I think.
We've got enough science maybe to complete another one. So I'm going to do 6 and 5.
Wasn't that the first one you completed?
Yes. So, yeah. Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
So it's the second row.
Yeah, so it's this one. Yeah, so 6 and 6. There we go. So 9 science. That's enough. Yeah, I have enough for 9 science.
I think you have to overpay.
Not. Yeah, it's fine. It's 10. I can deal with 10.
Right.
I can always try and probe and hope that I get a 2 or something like that, or 3. Anyway, I'm going to start activating some techs here. I've got. I might as well just activate all of them, because why not? I can roll a black die or use a tech from a red card that I don't own. Roll a moon. If you have 3 of the fruit symbols, I have 1, 2. I only have 2.
Oh, okay.
But I can just roll a red die
Okay.
if I want to. Or I can just roll a black one. I'd rather just roll the black one. It's better. Because it's wild. 1. Yay. Next is roll a red die or spend ships. I'm just going to roll the red die. Getting 2. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. We'll probe with those. This is gain 2 ships. Fine. I'll just take 1 and add 2 ships there. Great. This is coming in handy. This is gain a yellow 6 or spend ships to roll more.
Gain a yellow 6, I would say.
I'm going to save my ships for that. So I'm just going to roll. I'm just going to take the yellow 6. Mm-hmm. And this one is I'm on civilization. Yeah, so I'm just going to do that one. Spend a ship to launch a probe. So that goes away. And that is 4 science. Okay. But we have now completed this milestone. Have 5 activated techs. This counts as a tech, and these 4 are techs.
Yep.
So now we're on Federation level 3.
Which means that you're able to complete this row.
Yes. Should we? Yes. Mm-hmm. So do I have enough for that? I don't think so.
What? What do you mean?
To do both at the same time. Because I could, possibly. Because I could, if I have 9 science for this row, and then 14 science
That's
for that
23.
one. Yeah, I don't think I have 23 science over there.
You have 22.
I can get more from probing. That's fine. So I might just commit some of these over here to probes. And then let's work on these cards. This is a yellow 5. This isn't terrible. No, I'm going to wait. That's 7 science. I'm going to wait on that. Let's work on the ones that we have influence on already. This is no black dice. So we'll do a 3 there. We'll do the pink, and make a blue 6.
You could spend a ship.
I am. I'm going to spend a ship to turn this into a 6. Mm-hmm. And I have 3. Oh, I have 5 left.
Yes.
So that's good. That'll actually complete the card.
Yep.
This one, I need more blue dice for that. Oof. No dice with value 6. This one's even worse. All right, so I'm going to focus on...
What you could do is cancel... Oh, no, because then you would be spending 4 ships for this. But you would gain an additional blue die.
That could be helpful.
Although it's 9 influence. You would have to complete it.
That's a lot of influence. I'd rather use it for tech, or for science, rather. Just study it. I could put blue dice... Actually, that's how I could get more. I could... Boy.
That's rough.
I need to get my 4th level before I can win the game. So how do I work on that? Spend 7 tech. I need to get 2 more tech cards over here somehow. So I need to complete that one and another cheap one. Maybe this
one is, oh man, if you had both of these have pretty okay synergy.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's just keep the video moving. We'll do 4, 4, and 4. Where do I do that? And then I have a fleet. This has to go over here. Where's the other one at? Oh, it's over here. I should have refilled that. So 1 gets committed there. I'll commit this other one here to spend 4 ships on it. Mm-hmm. And then that'll give me 2.
You could discard 2 for a while.
Well, I'm gonna turn these 2 in for a black 3. And do 4, 2, and 3. And that's 9.
Okay.
So there we go. And I've got this one here I can't do anything with. Oh, yeah, I guess on the any. Mm-hmm. All right. Long story short, that's it. Let's go ahead and resolve crap. I'm going to get 4 ships.
Okay.
So those 2 go there.
4.
Yep.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's an order in which we're supposed to resolve these, but I couldn't find that in the book. Mm-hmm. I'm going to probe by just spending these 3.
Probing.
3. It's a 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have 3 3s there? If we do, that's 9. Yeah, we do. 1, 2, 3. So we can just spend those 3.
Okay.
3 threes. And that completes this one.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right, cool. And this one, and these are done. So that is 3 influence. Tucked 2, and another one tucked for 1.
Mm-hmm.
This one is 1 and 2 influence, so 3 total. And we flip this to the 2. No, I don't need. I flipped that to the 2. There was 1 there, so that goes back. Yep. And now it's 4.
Oh, I see.
And that's it. So now we resolve. Okay, so this is done, and this is done. So these are discarded. Mm-hmm. 1 and 2.
This is not done.
I know it's not.
Right. Oh, okay.
We need 2 more on that.
Yes.
So I'm going to make that as tech. Gain a black with a value of up arrow +2. I don't have any of that resource. It would be a yellow. Oh no, that's level. That's not a flame symbol. That's Federation level. That's actually really good. That would give me 5. A black 5. Yeah. Yep. Another tech. Yum.
Oh wow! So if you had this one, that means you would gain a blue, red, and yellow with a value of 6.
With each a value, no. Gain a red, yellow, and blue, each with a value of Federation level +1. That would give me. I'm a 3. That would give me a red 4, a yellow 4, and a blue 4.
Oh, okay. I was adding those numbers.
No.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. We're going to do adversary stuffs now. I had an extra starbase token somewhere. Here it is. Okay, that gets reset. And did I spend what I was supposed to spend for things? I think I did. Because I have a lot of ships over here. Oh well.
It's fine.
So we do adversary stuff. Discard a card.
Mm-hmm.
We do adversary stuff. Influence. No. Oh, there is a red card. 1 gets tucked under there.
Nasty.
Okay. Now we refill back up to 4.
Okay.
All right, and now I get dice.
That means any color?
Yeah, the gray is any color.
Interesting.
So 4 yellow dice, I get 6 pink and 4 blue.
Mm-hmm. And your techs get reset.
And I get, I get 5 tech tokens. 3, 4, 5. All right. There's a lot of tucking going on here.
Yes, there is.
A lot of low values, unfortunately, but here we go.
Ooh.
Alright, fine. I'm gonna do this crap. Okay.
You could do all your blues on here.
I could. I could spend 4 ships and be done with it. That would complete the card. So I'm gonna do that here.
Okay.
And spend 4 ships. That's 2 influence to the 3, so I'm just gonna do that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do a tech to gain 2... Actually, I have enough ships. I'm going to do this to gain a black 5.
Okay.
Boom. I'm going to spend a tech token to get a yellow 6.
Nice.
I am going to... Do I roll a pink die or just ignore that and get... I think I might need more ships because I'm about to spend 4 of them. I don't know. I'm debating. I might need more science. Okay, I can do this if I had enough science. I'm going to commit some to probing. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, and then...
You could complete this. You have the science. I don't think you'll be able to complete that.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I've got 3 turns to deal with this. I'm fine with that. 1, 2, 3. So that's probing twice there. With these, I'm going to... all dice must have different values. Fun. 6 and 4. Mm-hmm. And then 5 and 3... And I need a 2.
You could spend a ship.
I'm going to spend a ship to decrease a pip to 2. Boom. Also, I have other tech to spend. I'm going to do that and just, what's this ability? Roll a red die. No, I'm just going to, oh, it has 1 influence on it. Yep. I'm just going to roll a black die.
The tech here, if you have 3, you can actually set up to 2 dice by 6.
I know, I don't have 3 of these yet. I have 2.
Yeah, but if you had it.
I know. Like, if I had it. I don't. I don't have it yet, so I can't.
know, but like you could have completed it this turn.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep the video moving.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, we've got enough of that. I can try and just, yeah, I'll go for, I'm going to make it, do I have 14? I could, yeah, I just need level 3, so I could do that and then spend 3 ships, or better yet, I can use the black one up here. Oh no, it's the black. Wow. I can roll a red die and hope it's high. I could spend a ship and launch a probe. You know what? I'm going to do that and launch a probe. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to spend a ship. No. What are you doing?
A probe?
Yeah. So, yeah, you draw one of those and you... Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
Sorry.
It's tough because, like, we're running low again.
That's all right.
That'll be halfway.
We're almost there.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 3 ships to up that, because I need to get these done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to up this blue one to a 6.
Okay.
And I need to commit... Oh, I need 2 ships for that. Crap. I'm going to have to do this then. 1 and 2. I have to commit both over here.
Oh, nasty.
So I'm going to have to wait for another turn on that one. Mm-hmm. And then with these, I might just spend those 4 to get the science on that. So I'm going to just do that, I think. Or do I need... you know what? I might need ships. Yeah, I'm actually going to do this. That, and then I just need a pink 5 somewhere. Nowhere. Okay, fine. Let's just keep moving. 1 more. I'm just going to gain 2 ships with my last token.
Okay.
So that goes here. Mm-hmm. All right. So now we resolve dice. We have 3 ships here, and we can't do anything, so that we have to... We were down to 2. And yeah, it's getting a little nitty-gritty there.
It is.
So 1... 2, and then a single. Mm-hmm. And next we resolve these. I need 1, 2, 3. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 2 probes. So 2 of those for science.
1 and 2. Ouch.
2s and a 2. Great. Lovely. This is 2 and 2. So that's 4 total.
You go.
Okay. Is the events? Yeah, okay. Just making sure. All right. Any other dice? Oh, this is done. So I need to spend 14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No. 4, 7. Okay, I got it. 4.
And that is done.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to reset these tokens for next round. I need 1 more. I need another tech so I can get 7 techs.
Okay. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
14, wow.
Yep.
And those are the ones I still have?
Yes, these.
I need 18 total, so I'm going to have to do a lot of studying, I think.
Well, you need tech first to even unlock it.
Yeah, I know. But 1 more and we're done. Mm-hmm. Okay, so adversary step. Discard a card. Yep. Gain an influence. Red card gets an influence.
Ouch.
And we're back to our turn.
Okay.
1, 2. 1, 2. So, and then 6 pink. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. 3, 4. And I think that's it. Mm-hmm. All right. Bigger hands. Mm-hmm. Or more nimble ones, at least. These cards are like creeping up on me here. Hopefully my big head is not in the way. Okay, so I'm just going to re-roll down 1, whatever it was. 3, okay, fine. All right. So I definitely want to get this done so I can get that extra tech in there. So I think I need to get this done. I just need, I need that. So that's gonna go there.
Yep.
I'm gonna spend this to get. Do I need more ships at this point? I don't think I do. I'll hold off on that. I'm going to roll a black die because I think I need the black dice. 1, yay!
Oh, man.
Lovely. I'll be using that to study probably. Next is roll a red die. I'll gain a yellow 6 because why not? I think that's good to have. Yellow 6. Done. And gain a black with value of Federation level +2, so it's a black 5. There. And I can launch a probe. I think I need to do that for science. So I'm actually Federation 3. It says spend a probe or spend a ship to launch a probe or study a location. So if I just want to study a location, I could just study it. I might just study this one just to get rid of it because it's so expensive.
You could. What if there's a red card that comes up?
Yeah, fine, probe it. I need all the, yeah, it's fine.
It's 3.
3, that's not terrible. Okay. Then I've got 1 left. Do I roll a red die or do I gain 2 ships?
Well, how about
let's figure out. Yeah. So I need 3 for this, but there's no way to do this without going over.
Yeah.
This is done with 4 ships, so that's done. This one I could probably just get done too. There's a 6 and a 5 and a 3. That was one of them was a 3. That was a 3. Yep. And 5. So, and then I need another ship there for 7 science. So these are done.
The problem is...
You know what I could have done? Instead of drawing that, I could have completed this for studying and then finished this card, and then the entire array would have been white. And then I would have gotten my last milestone.
Your last milestone?
Yeah, it says end the results phase with no cards. That's why I was thinking maybe study that instead. I can still do it, actually, if I just commit 4 to this. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4 for studying this, just to get rid of it, I think that's going to be the right thing to do.
Okay.
And I'll get that milestone anyway.
Okay.
And then at this point, I just need a bunch of science to complete the last of it. So I feel like all of that is wasted. I need to just probe. I need to probe twice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. I need another. All those freaking 6s. That's probing twice.
You still wouldn't be able to complete.
Correct, because I need my blue ones.
Yeah.
I don't have them. But I'm going to study that location. And I need to complete... Oh, I have to complete that one. I'm an idiot. So maybe I don't overcommit on that. Let's first see what I can do with this. Then I'll commit the rest. So 6 and 4 is 10. And 5... And they have to be different values.
Yeah.
5, 1, and 2... No.
Oh, boy.
5... Okay, so 1 is not ideal. I need a 2.
Well, what you could do is take the 3 out, right? Put this instead.
I guess, yeah. The overcommit on that. That's fine. So 3 is 8, and then I need a 2. I'm going to turn this into a 2 by spending a ship.
Why wouldn't you use the... Oh, I see.
There's a 4 already there on the other row.
I see.
So I'm just going to convert that. Okay. So that's done. And the rest of it, like I said, I'm going to probe 1, 2... 3, and then just gain 2 ships. I don't know.
You have to get rid of this to study it, right?
I am gonna do that. That's
How do you study it again?
You spend 1 die per beaker.
Okay, so you're spending 4 dice up here to study that.
Yes, correct.
I see.
All right. So results phase. Let's just get these ships out of the way. I get 2 ships.
Okay.
And these 4, 1 per beaker.
So this goes up here?
Yes.
Okay.
And this probes, so one card from here for science.
Okay, that's not bad.
These are done. I get 4. So that and that. That's enough to complete that card. And I'm going to put this in as...
well, you don't need to spend 7 anymore because you're going to wipe out the array.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I could put it over there.
It depends what you want, I guess. What does it give you?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll put it over here. It's just a yellow die and another pink die and another tech token. That's fine. And this one is done, right? So I need to spend 4 ships.
4 ships.
So these are gone.
And this.
And I get 2 influence on that one. And then all those are discarded.
Okay.
And I get to put this somewhere. Roll a blue die if you have 3 waters.
Which now you do.
I do. I'll put that in as a tech, because why not? And reroll any or all of your dice. That's kind of useful.
Although, did it give a blue dice? I don't even know.
It did. It gave water.
No, I mean a blue die, like a blue...
It's fine.
Blue die.
At this point, I have it in a bag at this point.
Right, good.
This one I've completed as well. And that goes back up there. And I can choose to... That gets 1...
Does it get...
Oh, no, it doesn't get anything. That's right. That's the timer. This gets discarded.
Okay.
And I can put this somewhere. Yellow and pink. Roll a pink die if you have 3 of the fruit symbols, which I will. Set up to 2 dice to 6. That's perfect. That'll help me complete that last one up there.
And you completed this milestone?
Yeah, because I wiped the board.
Sweet.
All right. This is probably going to be the last turn, because we're pretty much there at this point. He discards a card. He gets an influence. And now we have to refill the array. 1, 2.
Oops, time ran out.
Uh-oh, time ran out. This is getting a little...
This is the last one.
That's okay, but we have to cycle that again after that's gone. So we technically have 2 more cycles, and then that's it.
Oh, I see.
If we try to refresh and there's no event cards, then that's when the game is over.
Oh, I see.
And that's in the standard game and with Training Bot.
I see.
Okay, so these are the 3 things. I'm not even going to worry about this. I'm just going to make sure we've got enough science for everything. So I'm just going to grab my dice. 1, 2, how many?
20. We have 20.
All right, that's fine. As long as I'm just going to probably cheese this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 5 at yellow. If people really want to see me roll all these dice, it's fine, but I'm sure I can.
Right here.
And I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. Okay. So, all right. Blue. Okay, so let's do this.
You can set it.
Roll a blue. Roll 2. Roll if you have 3 fruit symbols, which I do. Set up to 2 dice to 6.
There you go.
Well, fine. I'll use that tech. I have 3 fruit symbols.
2 days.
I already have that. I'm just going to set this 2 to a 6.
And we win.
And I'm going to commit this to this.
18 science.
Yeah, so I could assign these dice elsewhere. I have enough science to just put... I'm done. And that's it. So that is, to the best of my knowledge, One Deck Galaxy.
Training Bot.
Training Bot. That was Training Bot.
Yeah.
So, thoughts, opinions?
You go first.
I like it. Now that I understand it 90% of the way, I like it. My problem with this game is, it's like the developers went out of their way to design a very complex game, but did not give the tools needed for new players to easily access this game. From the rulebook, which is missing stuff. The Starbase, for example. I reread this section countless times.
It's a very small book.
Well,
it's tiny.
It will. Use a tech. There's a part about a Starbase in here, and it doesn't go into like what you do with it, like milestones. It's in here somewhere. Take my word for it, folks. The Starbase section of this rulebook is a little skim pickings. The developer actually clarified things on the official website about the Starbase because they admit that there's missing stuff in here. I don't know where it is. I must be missing it. Anyway, so the rulebook is missing stuff, forcing you to go to the website and get some FAQ stuff. Also, the easiest Hungry Nebula, that I don't think this is balanced right. That is not a 1 star, I'm sorry. In my opinion, a 1 star easy opponent is one that does not mess with the standard rule set. Yeah. It is there to introduce players to the game, and it might even be missing some things. Mm-hmm. Because usually there's like a basic version of a game and an advanced version of the game, and typically you don't add the advanced cards or a rule set until you have many plays of the basic. Well, with the Hungry Nebula, you're changing crap right out of the gate. It's just not accessible, I'm sorry. I don't agree with the whole scaling of this game, which is, if I have to go out of my way to create A, reference guide, and B, a training bot so I can actually get used to the gameplay mechanics, then there's something wrong with the game itself. Mm. That being said, I liked the game. Now that I know what I'm doing with it, there is a lot of little micromanagement. Everything has to click into place. Once that happens, then, you're fine. But I don't know. Like, I have mixed feelings. It's a game that frustrated me when I was learning it. Because I walked away from it several times. Because I was like, I have other things to do. I have other games to play. Why am I busting my neck for something that I purchased when I have other games that I could be playing instead? Mm-hmm. And, it's not a bad game. It's just not explained well, in my opinion. I am interested in the 2-player variant, but I feel like this is not a 60-minute game. I feel like you can decision paralysis this for days because of all the different things going on. Yeah. You can make my training bot rules easier or harder. Rather than discard 2 cards from the deck when this reaches 4, you can opt to discard 1. You can have the escalate action be 1 card instead of 2, if you want to do that to make the game easier. Mm-hmm. Again, you can, if you want to make it harder, training bot harder, use 4 face down event cards rather than 5. That gives you 1 less cycle of the deck to go through. So those are my first impressions of it. What did you think? The tucking is annoying, by the way.
I can't stand the tucking. Any game that has tucking in it needs to have some sort of, I don't know, board with a one of those,
a tracker,
dents or something.
Yeah, like a double layered board.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And I like trackers better than tucking because it's easier.
Crap is messy when it's tucked.
Yes.
Wingspan wasn't so bad because you weren't tucking a whole lot of cards.
I hated Wingspan's tucking, even though I love the game.
Yeah.
But, as a compact game, I really do appreciate how everything is tucked together. I love the dual purpose backsides. I think that is so cool. I like that there's so much on a card that you can use it for like so many different ways, but it makes it also convoluted and really confusing for people trying to learn the game.
I have games that are easier than this in a larger box.
Mint co-op.
What do you mean?
That Mint cooperative game that came in a
easier.
tin can.
My point is, I have games that are easier than this in a larger box. My point is, there's so much packed into this small box. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's my point. Mm-hmm. I could see I want to play this again. I enjoyed it. But I would do my own rule set again. I would do training bot again until I knew the game better.
I like the campaign mode. That they have a campaign mode in here.
It's one. Yeah, I didn't mention.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, the campaign. I showed this during the unboxing video. There's actually like a. Mm-hmm. I don't want to break it, but yeah, Federation Simulator. 24 unique campaign sheets for 1 deck Galaxy, and you play multiple games, I guess, and then you score yourself. Mm-hmm. So I like that, but go ahead.
There's jumpstart nodes and ability nodes that I have no idea what the heck they're talking about there.
I have not read this part of the rulebook. Mm-hmm. I'm too busy trying to understand the rest of it.
Yeah. It's so much packed into a little tiny compact thing but it's just so convoluted, I think. I think the rules are kind of all over the place. The gameplay mechanic is decent, but it's still all over the place for me. I like the way Tiny Epic Dungeon worked a little bit better.
Yeah, the Tiny Epic games are slightly less convoluted than this. Slightly.
Yeah, Mint Co-op was, it flowed better. This kind of flowed a little bit, even after understanding it. It still was like, too much.
To a new person, look at all of the iconography on these cards. Just as a new player, how could you not get a headache trying to understand all of this?
Plus the additional swells and events. And
that is, again, I left stuff out of the training bot on purpose.
Again, though, like, I do appreciate it. I appreciate that it's trying to give some kind of variety.
Yes.
There's different adversaries. I think that's cool.
I agree with that. Asmati Games posted, I was either on Board Game Geek or something, saying that they were going to release training videos, teaching videos on this game.
There's a link to that at the end of it.
There's nothing out there.
Oh, really?
They haven't released any tutorial videos yet.
Rough.
My point is, you sent this to market with a rule book that isn't complete enough, and without tutorial videos. That's a problem.
I thought this was kind of cool.
That is cool.
I like that they have different varieties of the ways to put dice. But yeah, I mean, this is a lot. Like, how much is this? 43 pages.
Well, it's a small booklet, but I get your point.
But my gosh. See, look, it says it right here, tutorial videos in the back.
Yeah. If you'd rather learn straight from us, we've got videos. No, you don't. I guarantee. I checked. You don't. Aww. There's one video from the developer that was rushed. He put up a 40-minute he even joked about it. His microphone was dangling off his camera, and it was not like high tech. It's just fine. I understood the first 10 minutes of it, but then he was like getting into more advanced stuff, and I wanted to shake him. I was like, "Well, why are you doing this? What is the point of this?" And I couldn't do that because I couldn't talk to him, and he kept going on to other things. I'm like, "Well, yeah, but what about this?" And I was like, you know what, I shut the video off around the 20-30 minute mark. I'm like, you know what, when I get the game, I'll buckle down and try and learn it myself. And I did, but not as well as it could have been.
Did you prefer this or One Deck Dungeon?
They're two different games.
Are they?
It depends.
What would you rather spend your time on? Is probably a better question.
It depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Okay.
If I'm in the mood for a dungeon delve, then One Deck Dungeon. If I'm in the mood to play One Deck Dungeon, although a more not worker dice placement. Yeah, it's more like if I'm in the mood for a One Deck Dungeon, then obviously this. But I feel like in 3 months, I'm gonna come back to this game and be like, how do I play this again?
Yes. Oh, that's the worst part of it, is that after you learn a game, this seems like the type of game that is actually very easy to forget how to play because of all the little things. Once
you miss one rule, everything falls out of place.
Yes. There was another game. There was another game where if you made one little mistake, the whole thing just comes crumbling apart. I'm trying to remember what the name of it was, but whatever.
So, anyway. This video's gone on pretty long. That was One Deck Galaxy with my Home-Brewed training bot. Apologies if you were expecting something a bit more challenging, but we were two cycles away and the deck was getting pretty thin. Keep in mind I'm a beginner at this, so did the best I could. But that's what it should have been. It should have been an accessible training bot at first. Because this is a lot.
Yeah, I thought the game was fine. I would play it again if I'm a little intrigued, by it. I still want to keep playing it. I love the art. I really do. I like the quality of the cards and the components.
Yeah. It's well done. It's just not explained very well.
Yeah.
That's its downfall. It's just lack of ease of access. That's my point. One Deck Galaxy, if you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince and Ida Lee. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.
Bye, guys.